labor and delivery. My experience. I want to be talking about my experience. My labor and delivery experience. I had my son June 11th, 2019. My son is currently 3 months old. Today is September the 12th, 2019. My story has some ups and some downs. I didn't have a perfect labor and delivery like I thought I was. Lou is my first baby. I'll take you back to the night before I went into the hospital. I had a wonderful pregnancy up until maybe my last month, and then I had, typical. I was tired and delusional, just ready to get him out. I worked all the way up until my baby, or I worked up all the way until I was 38 weeks, and I went to my last appointment, and it was like, she was like, well, your due date is such and such, and I really wanted her to deliver my baby, so she was telling me the days that she was on call. So she was like, we can schedule you and get you in and get you induced. So that's what we did. I signed the paperwork. That Sunday night was June 9th. I was super scared, super nervous, butterflies, I was just super scared. And then me and Tony was just, trying to lighten the mood, watch movies, kind of just, get the nerves out, clean the house, just get ready, because our lives were gonna change forever, So that night I went in around 11 p.m. and they got me a bed. I got right in there. So the room that I was initially in was the room that I was delivering in. That's the room that I went to, and got in my gown, got set up. We didn't even start until I would say I got there around 11. They didn't even come in the room or really start anything till about 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. I don't know if they were just short-staffed or they were just super busy. I know that for a fact they were super busy, because that night they had like 40 births on the floor or whatever. But anyways, they started inducing me, so they gave me the medicine to try to get the contractions coming, and I was taking it like a G. The contractions, the monitor was set up, and I was seeing the contractions, but I wasn't feeling nothing, and I wasn't on no medicine or anything. Like, she came in there, she was like, she was like, I'm gonna slow your medicine down because your contractions are coming, but you're sleeping through them. Like, you have a high tolerance for pain. I'm like, oh, okay. So, who was with me? It was just, that night, it was just me and Tony. Everybody was calling up and checking on me. No. Where was that? Oh, so watching.
The line, like the camera.
But I'm trying to get my thoughts together. But anyways, she was. Excuse me, guys. We have a disturbance.
Hey, I look kind of beefy right here. What? Hey, how y'all doing? Long hair don't care like a Jewish, huh? Just saying, no. Hello, young world. Hello, young world.
When we right here like this, I can tell that Lou is our son. He looks like me and you. Look.
I would hope so.
Look. They got my nose up.
Hello, young world. Hey, young world. I'm a beefy mom, and like, what's up, brother? I'm just gonna do the video like this. Like, what's up?
You are not in the video.
We in here, like.
You are not in the video.
I'm in here, like, what's up? Like, I'm just saying, no, I ain't. I'm out of here. It's enough camera time for me. Yeah.
Anywho, so she was just like, you got a high pain tolerance, and I was just like, yeah, okay. So they was giving my little popsicles and my water, my ice, not water, cause I couldn't have no water, but my ice, and was just trying to. So then there was a point in time where the medicine, like they was, the medicine that they gave me was to make the contractions come. So then I started to feel it, and I'm just like, okay, this is what this feels like. So when they started to come, when the contractions started to come, they would, tell me to breathe. My mom was with me, which I couldn't have did without her. Of course, Tony was there. And my aunt Tamala, my grandmother, everybody was there. I had a nice support system. My dad, the kids, they all came before I delivered. Everybody was there kind of supporting me, which I loved, and everybody was FaceTiming me, checking on me. So then when the contractions started to come fast, like more, that's my son's talking in my hand. When my contractions started to approach more, she asked me, she was like, let me know, or she told me, she was like, let me know when you want your epidural, because you can get it anytime. Which I thought, what everybody had told me my whole pregnancy, that I can get an epidural until I was like 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters dilated, which that has changed. So if you are 2019 and having and you having a baby, you can get an epidural when you want to. So don't let nobody try to talk you into not having it. Bitch, get the epidural, because it hurts. The pain ain't nothing to mess with. So the moment I felt the pain, like it was like so, and it wasn't so much pain because it hurt. Don't get me wrong, but I have a high tolerance for pain. So it was like when the contractions was coming, it was like they were coming back to back, and it just, you had to breathe through them, and I couldn't catch a break. So I'm like, no, give me an epidural, hurry up. My mom wanted me to hold on a little longer, because I don't know why. She said one of the things my mom did say, she was like, they not really doing you guys women just a justice, just giving you the epidural when you want it, because you don't really get to experience the whole thing. But I experienced it enough, honey. That was enough for me. I let like maybe 10 contractions come, and then I was like, all right, I'm throwing in the towel, and that's all. That was enough for me. But yeah, so the contractions came. I got my epidural, which was super scary. She had to hold on to me. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and the guy came and just put the epidural in my back. It did sting a little bit, but it wasn't super horrible. And she was like singing to me and everything. Like she was just trying to distract me at all costs. But I'm not a fan of needles, but needles don't scare me. I'm not one of the people just like, oh my God. Like, I knew that pain was freaking hurting me, and I wanted to get rid of it, so I was with it, So after I had my epidural, I was okay for a few hours. Mind you guys, we're fast forwarding it because I was in labor for 2. So that was then. I told y'all I went in Sunday night, so they didn't start until like Monday morning at 2 in the morning. And I had my son on a Tuesday, the 11th, so I had my son the following day. So I was in labor a whole 24 hours before I even had him. So then we went to sleep, people came, whatever. So all I don't remember too much because I slept. And if you can sleep through it, because you can't eat. You can't do nothing. Like I went with no food for like fucking 48 hours. That's crazy when I think about it now. I go, woo! But I slept. I listened to my music. I had a nice little playlist. Sade got me through my labor and delivery, you know. Um, but yeah, just trying to get really just trying to entertain myself, letting time pass. So once I got my epidural, I just remember going to sleep, and then every few hours they would come and check me, and I would be dilated. So I remember her saying, "Oh, she's 9 centimeters dilated." So I'm like, so everybody's knocked out of the room. I'm like, "Y'all wake up, wake up!" Get my mama. My mama had left. It's like, call my mama. I'm 9 centimeters. I'm 9 centimeters. About to have a baby. Woo woo. So when I'm 9 centimeters, so then my doctor comes in, she checks me or whatever. So she's like, yeah, she's 9 centimeters. So I had to wait 1 more centimeter or whatever. So when I was ready to push, it wasn't, my doctor had just got off the ship. Like the doctor that scheduled me, it happened to be the next day. So she was already leaving. So it was another doctor who I hadn't met was there. So the nurses were coming in and they were getting me all set up for labor, and we did some practice pushes, or she was like, we're gonna do some practice pushes. And so so she was telling me, and when you breathe down, you push. So that's what I did. I was just following her lead. I'm looking her dead in her eyes. Or like, it was just, the nurses were very, very supportive, which I love that, and I gave birth at the Women and Children's Center here in Louisville, and so I pushed literally 3 times, and then she was like, okay, stop, and then like they're calling on the phone, they're like, they're like, the baby is gonna come out and the doctor is not ready. Like the doctor wasn't even gloved up, suited up, nothing. Like this doctor had just got to work type of deal. And it's like, hold it, don't push. So I'm like, I'm trying not to push, but I can feel his head like coming out of my vagina. So I'm like, oh my gosh, no. And so I'm starting to cry. My mom's like, don't cry, it's okay, breathe. And I'm like super like emotional, like I'm really super emotional, and everybody's just like, breathe. I'm holding. Tony's on this side, my mama's on this side, my aunt Tamla, she's behind Tony. She was sitting down, but all the nurses was around. And he's like, breathe. So then they're like, we need a nurse in here we need a doctor in here right now. And so my doctor, Dr. Schweigler, which is the doctor who was my doctor the whole time, who she had left, she was off her ship. She was coming in. She happened to come in. It's like she had on her heels and she had on a nice little dress, and she came in the room, and she was like, oh my gosh. And they gave her some gloves. She put these gloves on. I said, can I push? Like, I was so happy to see her. Like, I was so happy to see her. And she didn't even have no coat on or nothing. They just gave her some gloves. She said, you can push now. I push. I didn't even have to push because the baby was basically already out. So I just kind of like released, and then he came right on out. And they set him on top of me, and oh my god, it was just like the best. I don't even know how to explain the feeling. I'm crying. I don't know, just that moment. I just gasped for air. It's just like my baby. And he started crying, and I just waited for that moment for so long, And I was just in the moment. Because the whole pregnancy, as a mom, or as a pregnant woman, you're so nervous. You always like, is something gonna happen? Is he okay in there? And then just like those seconds was just beautiful. So they laid him on top of me. He's crying and I'm shaking. Like, I don't know what, but they said it was normal. Like, I was shaking. Like, I was so cold. Like, I couldn't stop shaking. It's just like I was just shaking, but I was just, my adrenaline was pumping so hard. I did tear, and I tore like maybe it was 2nd degree. I tore 2nd degree. So, but I didn't feel like, after that it was just like, my adrenaline was pumping so fast. You know, that was the moment my baby came out. 7 pounds 3 ounces, very healthy. Yeah, June 11, 2019 at 8:15 in the morning. I had my baby boy. Stayed in the hospital for 2 days, which, if I could give any advice, it's to take everything home. That pain, the hardest pain is the afterbirth, because it's like when you go home, it's just like it freaking burns down there. Just healing, the healing process is freaking tragic. It was so tragic. I hated that so much. If you give vaginal birth, like, I hated that experience. So that's the only thing that I fear again. Like, if I have another baby, which we will, but that afterbirth, I can still feel it stinging. But yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. This is my new channel, and it's just me on this channel here. And also go subscribe to my family channel, ATL La Familia, which is me, the baby, and Tony on there. But this channel is just for me. Everything Taylor, all things Taylor is going to be on this channel. Yeah, so give this video a thumbs up. Just give me a video a thumbs up for my baby Louise. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.